This is all going to be about the export settings um, tool or section, whatever you want to call it. So the idea here is that Nexus has, and I was just looking through here, almost 500 settings. And you go in and three of them you change to not be the default. How are you going to know which three those are 3 months from now, or if you're like me, 3 hours from now? So here's how you do it. You use this export settings section. You click on send to log, and we're going to go down and get to that. So how do I get there? Go to Pine Editor, go here, go Pine logs. So we've got to get the logs going and wait. And eventually logs will come up. And we wait, and there's the log. So now the next thing we need is a text editor. Now, you can't use the Windows basic notepad as far as I know, because it doesn't have a way of doing regular expressions. And we need to create a tab character. It's going to be very difficult in notepad. And if there's a way, more power to you, but I'm not going to use it. So I'm just going to use a text editor that I like from Linux called Kate. Now, even though it's from Linux, it's part of the KDE editor, text editor. Sorry, it's a text editor in the KDE system. Um, it does all sorts of magical, wonderful things. So you can use anything you want, whatever works for you. And your next thing is you need to get all this. Now, in the instructions, I just say click on here and hit Control A, and that works. You'll get all this, but you get a little bit more. You can see there's some stuff down here. All that's going to get picked up as well. But that's the quick and dirty way. If you want to be a little more precise, just start there, start highlighting from the top. Once you're caught a little bit, just go all the way to the bottom, hold your Shift key down, and click near the end of the last one. Now I'm going to hit Control C. You can't see me do it. Just take my word for it. Now I'm going to bring the text editor up, and I'm going to paste this into the text editor. Now, you see these weird arrow looking things? We're going to change that into a tab. And this is why you need a text editor that's not Notepad. So I'm going to hit Control R in this one. And by the way, I'm doing this in Windows, even though this is a Linux tool or tool created in Linux, because it can run on anything. So if you're a Windows user, which I'm sure 90% of you are, you can get it. And if you're a Mac user, you can probably also get it. So I think you're good no matter what. So I've just taken that, I put it in the find and in the replace. First, you got to set regular expressions. Mine's there by default, but normally you'd have to select it. And then I just use \T. And that's going to replace all these characters with a T. Now, you might want to ask the very obvious question, that is, why don't I just create this in here with tab characters? Because TradingView and all the wisdom decided to strip out tab characters. So I can't put a tab character in here. It'll never show up. So we're forced into an in-between step. So now I've got that, I believe the only thing, yes, so the only thing in here is this text. So I'm going to go Control A, Control C, and I've now copied all of that. Now I'm going to go into a spreadsheet I've created, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the spreadsheet after we do the operation. So I'm going to pull this up. And I think the place to paste this is on this line here, but if not, I'll just move it. And I hit Control V, and I'm off by one. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to go up to that one, go Control V, and now you can see everything's lined up. Now, hang on, where'd my cursor go? There we go. This line here is kind of useless. We don't need it. It's identical to this line, this column, sorry. It's identical to this column over here. So we're just going to grab this. I'm going to go Control C, and I'm going to arrow over. I'm going to go Control V, and I'm just going to copy this over that. Then I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to just hit my delete key. Okay, so the ones highlighted in yellow are the ones that are different to the default. So now you can instantly just scroll down here and say, oh, that was changed, that was changed, that was changed. And so you could very, very quickly reproduce this, because these are in the exact same order as they are in the settings in Nexus so that you can literally go down the Nexus settings and follow down through your eye these things. So now you might be asking questions. How are these highlighted? First of all, you don't really need to know because if you have the system, I'm going to give you access to this sheet and you should just copy it over to your own Google account and just start using it. But for anyone who wants to know, I'm just using what's called conditional formatting. And I'm pretty much just say if anything in here is different to the one here, then highlight it. That's basically what it's doing. And it gives you a great, fast visual reference and you can keep complete track of what's what. Now, the next thing I want to show you is the things that it doesn't copy over. Because there are some things where TradingView just says, yeah, I'm not going to make that easy on you. So I'm going to do kind of like a side by side here so you can see what's going on. Do that. Bring that up. Do a little bit of window moving around-ish stuff. Okay, that's good enough. And I guess also once you've done this, might as well turn the logs off. They have no value to you. Oh, you can't do it there. Just close it. You're done. And then go back into Nexus and bring that back. Go back into Nexus and turn off the logging because that's just all that's going to do is chew up, make it run slower. So you might as well turn it off when you're not using it. Now, what's happening in the spreadsheet? What can and can you not? Well, you see it can't show you, enter it. That's because TradingView does not make this connection available. So when you're connecting externally, you should type it in. Now, the nice thing is if I click over here, this doesn't disappear. So I can click over here and just type it, right? Adaptive, I might get lazy and call it adaptive trend following suite space. And then the important part, which is bullish signal. Now, if you think you're never not going to remember what that means, clearly you can go back and write it out full, but I'm trying to demonstrate stuff here for people. So, I'm taking shortcuts. Or maybe that's the wrong time to take shortcuts. You know it, you get the idea. Okay, so that's one thing. These external signals you will have to type in, but they're only in one place, and that's here, and usually only have 2 or 4, and you're done. So that's quick and easy. The other things that it won't copy because of, well, reasons, but I will tell you those reasons. The other one is colors. So if I can go down here, I think I still show that the colors are there. I just don't copy them. The colors skipped. And the reason being, if I actually copy the colors over, because I'm doing this in you're going to learn some internals of Pine script here. If I copy these over, I'm using a color function in Pine script. And when I do that, because I'm doing it in a library and I don't want to do it in the main line, it just makes it unwieldy. All your colors here are going to disappear. All you'll see is this, but all your color settings here are going to just go away. And I don't want to do that to anyone. So they're all here. I've been going to great care to make sure they stay. Although this, as far as I'm concerned, is a TradingView bug. I mean, I'll tell you right now, this thing's got 2 colors, not, how do I put it? What does it say there? 30, 44? That's insane. I don't know why TradingView does that. They just do. You want to send a support ticket to them? Be my guest. The last thing it doesn't show, and this one's not for technical reasons, this is a deliberate act, and that is we're just about to connect up the your ability to use geez, I'm trying to think of the name of it. Oh, I don't have the titles here, so I'll get the titles out of Nexus because I don't put group names in the spreadsheet. That's too much trouble. So the group name is a little further down, or did I go too far? There it is, alerts. Okay, so under Pine connector, I'm not going to put the license. We don't want that being ported around. The same thing here. Same thing as sensitive information. You can have it in here, but it's not going to show up in your spreadsheet information. So if you do want to keep that somewhere, put it somewhere safe. As for that, you have to be old like me to know what that's all about. Look it up. So yeah, anyway. That is pretty much everything to do with exporting settings. And I highly recommend you get into a habit of. And one really cool idea is when you first get your settings, when you first get something set up, you might paste them in here. And then later you might say, oh, I want to play with this. And you start playing with something and you make the settings better or worse or whatever you do. You make the profitability different. You can put a title on here and call this before and after. And then, when you set it for forward testing or something, which I'll have another video about that, um, you can compare and see what's different and see how it tracks in both the back testing and the forward testing your changes. And that could be very valuable information for you. So it's not, you can use it for more than just keeping the settings safe somewhere so that you never lose them. You can also use it for, some not diagnostics might be the wrong term. You could use it for and a little bit of analysis as well. And that is all I have to say about that. So until next time.